Hello again, Pochenko here. It's been a while since our last upload. Great to see you again. Ivan's latest was inspired by the recent Flash movie where Batman was again portrayed by Michael Keaton. The idea revolves around the Dark Knight on top of a rooftop of a Gothic structure with the Bat's signal Searchlight beside him. Gothic architecture is a style that originated in Europe during the Middle Ages, characterized by the use of pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and flying buttresses. It is known for its tall, slender structures, intricate ornamentation, and use of stained glass. Gothic architecture aimed to convey a sense of spirituality and reverence, and can be seen in many cathedrals, churches, and castles throughout Europe. A final feature found in Gothic architecture is the presence of ornate decorative elements. These include embellished colonnades and colonnettes, sculptural moldings, statues of saints and historical figures, pinnacles and spires, and gargoyles, grotesque figures that double as waterspouts. And so, Ivan started the project by rummaging through his plastic box of old, discarded figures, looking for the right almost near posture where minimal modification to intended pose is necessary. Here, Ivan found the most ideal figure for the Dark Knight Vignette. An old 1990 Tamiya mold of a German soldier standing erect. A few and minor modifications were done, including the use of a dragon model head and sculpting the entire Dark Knight look using a two-part putty. Using several art materials like foam boards and Sintra board, the Gothic structure build commences. Adding the Gothic elements along and sculpting the dragon monster's head with painstaking patience in the build-up of its scales, fangs, teeth, and horns in detail. As you see, jewelry wires were used to sculpt the dragon monster's claws as guide which forms the base of the pose. Another invaluable material that Ivan used in this build is the DIY acrylic sealant to patch glaring seams and gaps in the structure, a technique Ivan learned when building his EVA foam Mandalorian helmet. Since this is water-soluble, the sealant can be applied with ease while applying water to smoothen the application and surface. A 3-minute window time for adjustments can be done before the sealant dries up. Regrettably, this acrylic sealant is not sanding friendly. For the pointed Gothic windows, Ivan downloaded a pattern from the net and printed 2 copies with 2 patterns on a thick paper. After which, Ivan, using a newly replaced blade of the hobby knife, carefully and slowly cut the window pattern. Once the windows were all cut, superglue was applied to the surface to stiffen the window and make it sturdy for the succeeding steps of the build. As an added good measure, a resin was applied as well. Another cosplay technique used in this build was the utilization of aluminum of a food packaging, burnishing and flattening the surface. Ornate patterns were achieved by using a pointed or sharp object or a pencil to scribe or draw on it. A hot glue was then applied behind it to harden and strengthen the pattern. Initially, Ivan only drew the brick or stone patterns, thinking the space between can be replicated by just airbrushing it. It only became apparent when the actual airbrushing of the wall's stones did not satisfactorily show the spaces. Thus, Ivan decided to scribe over it and repainted the pattern. A good decision indeed, as pin washes could be later applied and a more gratifying appearance were achieved. Using a two-part putty and the bottom end of a pen, an ornament design is created, while the other ornament was done by molding a pattern from a jewelry. The bat signal is a 3D printed model replica of a General Electric Searchlight. bat symbol was made by freehand sketching on a thin cardboard, cut and glued to the mirror cover. Black paint acrylic was used. Lead and jewelry wires were added as detail in the 3D print, and an overall khaki drab color was used. At this point, Ivan was not impressed with the silver color, as it was not too shimmery and did not exhibit any reflectorized characteristics. The alternative was to use a chrome pen to achieve this. Ivan will be looking for a much better paint option the next time. This was what Ivan mentioned a while ago when he decided to scribe the stones and do a pre-shade. This made him a paint do-over.